Hi everybody. I want to talk about writing your works cited page. Brandon Evansville, we talked about this in class on Friday when you were gone. Albany, you might want a review. When it is time to write your works cited page, I know you've often relied on things like easybib.com. It's going to give you a works cited page. It's going to have mistakes though. We tried it out in my second block class and we found 3 mistakes on what easybib spit out to us. Also, easybib now requires you to watch a video in order to use it without paying for it. You can write your own works cited page in the time it takes you to watch that video. So let's learn how to do it right now so that this is a skill you can take with you into your college career. You're going to start by making sure you're on the MLA page in the Purdue OWL, so click MLA down here, and then open up the Formatting and Style Guide. That's going to drop down this whole menu here of all of the different chapters in your style guide. You'll see general information about your in-text citations if you need to review that. To write the works cited page, you're going to go down here. If you want basic format information, you'll go here and it will tell you things like on the top of your page, you need to title it works cited, you begin your works cited on a new page, and you arrange your works cited entries in alphabetical order. For this works cited page, I'm going to assume that most of you are using an electronic source. If you were using a book, you would click here. If your source was a newspaper or a magazine that you are physically holding in your hands, you would click here. But since most of us are using electronic sources, let's click here. And this page tells us about all of the different kinds of electronic sources we might be using. Most basic, a website. And then it gets more specific, a course or a department website, a page on a website, an image that you might have found on the internet, an article in a web magazine, scholarly journal, databases, if you're citing an email or maybe a blog posting or a discussion group, a tweet. How do I cite a tweet on my works cited page? A YouTube video, a comment on a website. So lots of different kinds of internet sources on this page. I think most of you are going to be using the format guideline for citing an entire website. Here it tells you the information you are going to list and the order in which you are going to list it, as well as the punctuation you need to put in between each item of your works cited entry. So you begin with the editor, author, or compiler name, if available. Sometimes this will be a person like Joe Smith. And if it is a person, you're going to state it this way, last name, comma, first name. Sometimes your author is going to be an organization or a group, like maybe the American Lung Association or the U.S. Department of Natural Resources. Whatever your author is, you start with that followed by a period. You follow that information with the name of your site. In most cases, this is going to be the title that has been given to the article you're reading. And so it's the title of the article on your website in italics, followed by a period. Then it next asks for the version number. Most websites you look at won't have a version number, and so you can skip this. And that is true anytime you're writing a works cited page in MLA or APA format. If you don't have a piece of the information that this format guideline is asking for, you just skip it and you go on to the next piece of information. So we don't have a version number, we're going to say, so then you go on and you list the name of the institution or organization affiliated with the site, maybe the sponsor or the publisher. Maybe it's ESPN, maybe it's Poetry Foundation, whoever your publisher is. If your publisher is the same person as your compiler, you're not going to repeat it and you're going to skip this step. Comma after it. Date of resource creation. The date is usually on the bottom of the page or the very top. It might be just a year like it is here, 2008, or it might be a day, month, and year. And if it is, you're going to write it this way, 28 November 2003. Comma after your date. The URL goes next. I don't think you'll have a DOI or a permalink, so your URL, just copy paste this guy up here, followed by a period, and then the date that you accessed this web source. And so if it's today, then you're going to write today's date. And it's going to look like this, the word accessed, and then the date written this way. MLA wants us to write the date this way because it doesn't use any commas. It's a little bit shorter. Follow the guideline. It's quick, it's easy. You just plug your information in place of all of these elements, and then you copy the punctuation. I hope that helps. Bring your questions about works cited to class on Monday, and I'll try to answer them.